And we're following breaking news. We have been all morning. A report of 7 people dead in shootings now in Pike County. Right now we have Sarah Llewellyn. She's from the Pike County Emergency Management Agency on the phone. Sarah, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us there about what's going on?
Not a whole lot right now. The sheriff's office, EMS, the prosecutor's office, BCI&I, and cybercrime units have all been on the scene. We don't know a lot of details because the sheriff's office first priority is the safety of the people in the surrounding area,
of course,
to secure the people in the community, and then do their investigation. And right now they're out there doing their job, so we haven't had a lot of direct contact with the investigators or the sheriff's office at this point to give us anything to release to the press. They're just out there doing their jobs. Right now we have Red Cross coming to feed the staff on site because it looks like it's going to be quite a long time, but don't have a lot of information about what's going on at the scene at this time.
All right. Sarah, do you know anything about how they originally got this report, if it was a 911 call, if there was a neighbor or someone driving by that alerted the Pike County Sheriff's Office to this?
I have no clue. Like I said, I have not been able to talk to Sheriff Reeder directly. I've texted him a couple of times, but not getting any details out of yet because he's really hard at it right now.
Okay, I don't blame him. I'd imagine, and we appreciate you spending a few moments with us just to share what is going on there down in Pike County. Sarah Llewellyn with the Pike County Emergency Management Agency joining us as you look at live Chopper 4 pictures there of the scene. Multiple agencies have been arriving all morning. We've seen that on Chopper 4, and this is about an hour and a half south of Columbus in Pike County. It's right on the Pike and Adams County line. We have Marcus Thorpe in the newsroom who's been gathering information with his sources there in Pike County all morning. Marcus, good morning again.
Yeah.
What can you tell us?
We can tell you some new information, at least when it comes to the schools, because we know that the sheriff's office there in Pike County has been in constant communication, alerting those school districts exactly what they should be doing at this point. We just heard from Brock Brewster, who is the superintendent there at Western Local Schools, telling us that they're in a partial lockdown, just meaning that schools are students and teachers not allowed to go outside. But we can update you what's happening in Waverly with the schools there. We understand from the superintendent, Edward Dickens, there that they have understandings from the sheriff's office that there is no situation for them necessarily to be worried about. They are going about their daily school day now. They were in a partial lockdown at one point this morning, just waiting to hear from the sheriff. But the superintendent says he has been in contact with the sheriff's office, allowing them to go on with their usual schedule. So that will certainly be music to some of the families' ears there in the Waverly School District. But again, Brock Brewster telling us that Western Local still on a partial lockdown. That will include Peebles High School, meaning the students are not being allowed to go outside of the building at this point. The outdoor doors are still locked. They generally are anyways at this point, but it does show you that there is constant communication happening between school district and law enforcement teams that are there. The superintendent at Western Local telling us they did a one call. If you're not sure exactly what that is, it's basically an email phone call blast to all the families who have signed up for that service, just alerting them of what's going on at the school district. That will continue throughout the day. If they have new information, those blasts again will go out. It's relatively new in a lot of the districts, but it's certainly something that this district is using.
And Marcus, we heard from Dan Tierney, and he was clear in saying that there was no active shooter situation, and Brock Brewster reiterated that this is a precautionary measure for the schools there, but no active shooter situation. There's no search for a suspect. But clearly, as we look at these live pictures together, you can see that agencies still keep arriving together to help out in the situation. And we heard Sarah Llewellyn say this could take a while because they're just gathering this information and just trying to figure out what kind of a scene they have there. We know 7 people dead in Pike County, but we don't know much about how they died, if they're related, how this came in as well, if this was a call, a 911 call, or if there was a neighbor who reported something suspicious. We don't know yet how that came in. We do have our Ted Hart, who is on the way there to the scene. We've been talking to him ever since this first broke. And Ted, do we have you on the phone again? Do I have you there?
Actually, you should
Oh.
have me here live on the ground,
Good.
Ellie. And I can tell you that we are on Union Hill Road, and the scene, we're told, is about 1.5 miles up this road. This is where law enforcement and other emergency responders are staging at this point. But again, we're told 3 trailers, kind of a family compound, if you will, about 1.5 miles up the road. And I'm joined by Pastor Phil Fulton, who for more than 40 years has been pastor of the Union Hill Road Church, and knows the families that are involved here. I guess from what you know, or from what's happened here this morning, what can you tell us about how you learned about this and what you know?
I got a phone call this morning. They'd called down to the school and called for the deputy at the school to come out. Something tragic had happened. 7 people had been found murdered. And then I began to get phone calls and texts from everybody wanting to know what's going on, what's happening, and I began to inquire. And so I thought I better run up. Maybe they needed a command post. Families needed a place to go and to, just a place to sit and be together. They need prayer.
You know this family, though.
I know the family. Yes, I do. I know the grandparents as well as Miss Roden and the kids, all the kids, and Dana used to come to Union Hill Church.
So your understanding is that this is a mother and her children and
Yes, sir.
grandchildren?
Yes, and perhaps her ex-husband. I heard her ex-husband also
Okay.
was killed.
And this seems so out of place, I guess. For
It
this.
does. It does. Very out of character for our community. But with the ways of the world and the way things is going, I guess maybe we shouldn't be surprised, but we are. This is so tragic. So tragic.
Is there anything you can tell us about the family that might shed some insight as to why
Nothing.
this happened?
No, sir. No, I couldn't. No. Dana loved her kids, worked hard. Her husband, I think he had a garage out there he worked, and maybe one time was a truck driver. I'm not sure what all he done. I really didn't know him. I knew Dana and her kids.
Pastor, what's her last name?
Her last name is Roden,
Spell that word.
R-H-O-D-E-N. Her maiden, we always called her Dana Manley because that was her maiden name. Yes,
And your understanding was that this was gunshots,
that's my understanding.
but had you actually gotten up there?
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, that's...
And there are some other family members, though, that you're talking to?
I talked to some of the other family members here, and they don't know what happened either. They're here, they would like to have some answers, and of course with law enforcement and the investigation, and of course my understanding, they have not caught anyone who was responsible, and they haven't found out who's responsible.
Right. So whether or not it's one of the victims themselves or whether it's
True.
someone still at the loose, we don't know.
We don't know.
All right, Pastor, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So that's what we have here at this point, Ellie. We'll go that way. Thank you. So again, the scene, we're on Union Hill Road, the scene about 1.5 miles up the road. The pastor of the local church who says he knows this family, a woman or children, grandchildren, ex-husbands. He's understanding that those are the victims in this case. All of that unconfirmed from police officials at this point. They're still trying to sort out what happened. Ellie?
And Ted, can I ask you, while I have you there, the situation, you mentioned that the family lived there together, that there was a compound, 3 mobile homes. Is that what you said?
That's what Pastor Fulton tells us. He's familiar with the family and familiar with where they lived. He said the mom lived in one trailer with a daughter. Then he believed that an ex-husband lived in another trailer nearby, and then perhaps a son with a girlfriend,
Okay.
and children in one or more of the trailers as well.
And from what we're hearing from their pastor, children are likely victims in this as well, some of the victims' children.
That's his understanding, and as you heard, he has talked to some of the other family members as well. But as far as what's confirmed information, we just really don't know a whole lot yet because the law enforcement is still on the scene, obviously, and trying to sort out who's who are the victims, what happened, and
Of course.
And at this point, as far as we know, whether or not the shooter was one of the victims or whether they're looking for someone at this point.
You are absolutely right, Ted. There's a lot still to sort out. I'll free you up so that you can continue gathering new information there. Appreciate it. Ted Hart live in Pike County for us. We have Chopper 4 over the scene, and we'll continue to bring you the very latest on this situation in Pike County. 7 people reported dead there this morning. We'll be right back.